Happy health and wellness to you whenever you're reading this and wherever you're reading this from. Today is 31 May 2026. It's a Sunday, and I am checking in for my health and wellness check-in for this past week. And that includes social, mental, and physical health and wellness. And the week running Monday 25 to Sunday 31 May 2026. A cool thing about this week is it ends on the 31st, and the month ends on the 31st, so it ends on the last day of the month, which is kind of fun. It was a week with life balance as a central focus, so it was really just being like the jury duty thing, and then being like adapting, but then also being like, because it has come up so frequently in my life, do I have like base layers to like in place to deal with interruption of this nature? And do I actually know what it means to sit in jury duty, since they provided me a description? I was like, should I do some training, even if it's just once? So I did. All right, so that's the introduction and week summary. Category 1 of 3, social health. I fed the critters. Craig, the young western gray squirrel, has been very friendly and out and about, and even kind of jumped at, I think it was critter meal time, lunch or dinner today, and bumped into Stubbsy, and Stubbsy jumped onto my boot. And so there's been like, he's been very friendly, Craig has, the young western gray squirrel. And there's been a bunch of other little critters. The babies are out for a bunch of different species. There was a lazuli bunting, which was a very pretty bird. It's a kind of a aqua blue, metallic blue, iridescent blue head / cap, and then a white chest with like orange chest. It was very colorful and pretty. And then Earworm, the western gray squirrel, is back and doing well. His tilt has gotten even less than before. I was like, dude, you keep getting better. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. This week included neighborhood-friendly faces when out and about, including walk runs. And out and about was well-timed and paced. Yes, I'm back to that. One day at a time. Did I ever leave it though? But like there's like the 1 day at a time, but then also within the day, like I have to adjust to the day itself. Yes. All right, category 2 of 3, mental health. Jury duty. Marked my first jury service to reach full week length. Did pudding person, so like as in 7 day. So I was notified 7 day that I would not have to come in day 8 as they had scheduled me. So there we go. Did pudding persons I interacted with through a Like Them Like I Like Dustin Hoffman in Runaway Jury approach work. Well, my whole jury section got released day 7 before I could use it, scheduled for day 8. The earliest I can talk about the case, if I am not mistaken, is 6 June. So that's like a week away. Almost a week away. You know what it has? There was a movie that was scheduled to release. I think they might have changed the release date, kind of like Anaconda last year. 2025 film Anaconda. I think they might have changed the release date for Tuner, which has Dustin Hoffman in it. And so if they have, I've been like tuned in at the movie theater and like thinking of Dustin Hoffman. While I didn't necessarily use it in the jury or judicial system setting, I have thought about it when movie going, which gets me to movie going. Oh, and like I should say, I did a Baby Yoda movie, the Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu as training for jury service, and I think it was a good one. I think the big one there is remembering to put the phone on airplane mode before going into the theater, and then once out of the theater, and not interrupting it. It's like, depending on the format for the jury thing, I don't have a problem, like in a classroom or something like that. I haven't really been one to text in class kind of period, so that's not really a problem. It'd be like on a video call or something, but even that's not really a problem. But point being, like, that might be more difficult depending on the setting. So there we go. All right, movie going. Papa Gillespie. Does he live with me and Josh? And I asked my Papa Gillespie if I can invite Miley Cyrus over for a slumber party. He reminds me I need to know her. Yes, do we pick up where we left off if we live together? And then I was adopted to where I currently live with they would be my adoptive parents. Or make up for lost time. I didn't, have people over for slumber parties back then, so far as I know. Was it Australia and there were koalas? The western gray squirrels go, no, no, no. We're the cuter white and gray critters. No koalas. Okay. So there we go. He's like, you need to know Miley Cyrus. Right. How do I do that? Dad? Okay. Anyway, other movie going. I concluded as a solo movie goer, calendar counted days 1 through 31 and 11 months at any movie theater chain. July 2025 through May 2026, Regal Cinemas. I put out a video on that. I'll link in the video description to my movie going theater experience centric playlist. It's there. It's also counted numbers as metrics, kind of thing. I'm currently working on my closing sequence for as a female solo moviegoer, calendar counted days 1 through 31 movie theater, and at one movie theater. So that's July 2025 through earliest end month of June 2026. So next month for all 31 days. So 1 through 31. So that's, yeah. And that'd be Regal Cinnabar Mount Lake. So I'm missing a number 30. I went to Thornton Place yesterday instead of the Cinnabar Mount Lake, so Regal each. So it's work in progress, which also gets me to then, while one thing is concluded, one is closing. The opening sequence I'm working on is as a female solo movie goer, calendar counted days 1 through 31, one movie theater, a second movie theater, May 2026 through earliest end month of July 2026 for 4 to 6 counted calendar days, Regal Thornton Place. Yeah, so instead of hitting all numbers 1 through 31 in 3 months, its opening sequence is 4 to 6. Then I can step away for as long as I want. It's about these are anti-hijack procedures, and so they need a little bit of extra care at opening and closing of the base layers. So it's like a communication of an intent of like, I like this place and I like it enough to do this, and I have the means to. Yeah. So thinking of like with Josh, like living with Josh, do we go to Las Vegas and we go 7 days in a row to like the Cinnabar in Las Vegas, or do we go one at a time and then we go together on 7 days in a row, each of us? So then we anyway, so it's about kind of establishing a base understanding of how to use a corresponding theater. So there we go. I have started on one of the copies of and this is continuing the mental, the Trek, the epic, the Odyssey of our shared movie going, if not other than this, continues. I started on one of the copies of the Odyssey by Homer. So this is the 2025 University of Chicago Press by translated and introduction. And kind of the whole thing by Daniel Mendelsohn. I am 30 pages in. Through the end of the Odyssey is like 400 and some pages. So it begun. I took a selfie with this book and a movie poster yesterday at Regal Thornton Place. I dashed back to my car and grabbed it from the trunk and took a picture. It took me like 50 pictures to get it correct, selfies, but I got there. All right. And I posted one as a profile picture on Yelp. Okay. All right. And then I first read The Odyssey by Homer in approximately February 2011 at approximately 18 years of age. Up last, category 3 of 3, physical health. I started menstruating 2 days early. Anything else? It's been hot. The critters and I are like, and the critters have been lying down in the sun. Have I been doing anything? It's been, instead of 30s degrees Fahrenheit in the morning for my walk runs, it's been like 40s degrees Fahrenheit. And also, I have seen my breath once, not too long ago. I guess started off and I couldn't see my breath, and I was like, it's not that warm yet. So, but it's also just May, but it can be warm. I'm like, it's been warm, but it's also been cool. So it's been an interesting one. So in conclusion, a lot about just stabilizing basic life and like base layers of projects in my life. And so there we go. Happy health and wellness to you whenever you're viewing this and wherever you're viewing this from.